As a Nickelodeon show, Hey Arnold got away with a lot. From characters who were basically alcoholic to episodes based on blackmailing someone into dating, the show got pretty crazy at times. One character that always stuck with me has got to be Chocolate Boy. Sadly, what he was meant to represent in the Hey Arnold universe was much darker than I think most people realize, and I'm not talking dark chocolate either. At the end of the day, Chocolate Boy was essentially an addict, and one of the darkest episodes of the show happens to focus on how crazy his addiction was. For starters, the show made it clear that there weren't many things that Chocolate Boy wouldn't do for a piece of chocolate. Chocolate Boy was a character whose real name was never revealed, but it's fairly obvious where he got his nickname from. The young boy, who seemed to be a little bit younger than Arnold, typically wore a blue t-shirt and red shorts. The most telling part of his character, though, was his mouth, which was constantly stained with melted chocolate. This is what most likely led to the nickname that everyone in the series referred to him by. Now, Chocolate Boy had a clear problem when it came to chocolate, and I don't think it's much of a stretch to say that he was fully addicted to it. He was also constantly talking at a fast pace whenever he had something to say, which could be seen as a sign of substance abuse. Only in this case, the substance was chocolate, and the speed that he was talking at was all caused by a massive sugar rush. I mean, Chocolate Boy had it bad. If there was chocolate in the area and Chocolate Boy was around, the candy would be gone before anyone even realized it. All throughout the series, there wasn't much that he wouldn't do to get his hands on any form of chocolate. At one point, he even ended up in a tank of melted chocolate after sneaking onto Arnold's field trip to the chocolate factory in the episode Buses, Bikes, and Subways. That's right, my boy went full Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka and ruined an entire tank of chocolate. His chocolate obsession was so bad that when Arnold and his friends were stuck in a tree, they couldn't rely on him for help. Arnold must have told Chocolate Boy what to do and how to get help at least 4 times. But even as he walked away, they all realized it was hopeless because if the kid saw chocolate, he would forget all about getting help. He even exchanged goods and services for chocolate at times, like in the episode Oscar Can't Read, when Chocolate Boy helped Oscar memorize a page of a book in exchange for some chocolate malted milk balls. Good old Whoppers. Now, normally I'd say relating Chocolate Boy to a potential addict is a bit of a leap, but after rewatching his antics, it's hard for me to see it any other way. I mean, there was even an episode where Arnold tried to help Chocolate Boy get over his obsession with chocolate, much like how a friend will try to help another get past an addiction. But do you remember how it all started? Believe it or not, the episode, which sort of served as the introduction to Chocolate Boy, started with a bet. In the episode, aptly titled Chocolate Boy, he made a bet with Wolfgang, another kid in Arnold's school. Wolfgang was messing around with Chocolate Boy and made a bet that he couldn't go 2 weeks without eating chocolate. The deal was, if the kid could last the entire 2 weeks chocolate-free, Wolfgang would give him 10 pounds of chocolate. Nobody thought that he could actually do it, so to be sure that he wasn't cheating, Wolfgang had his buddy Mickey keep an eye on him at all times. Mickey caught Chocolate Boy ready to relapse on multiple occasions, but being caught prevented him from doing so. Since he knew he needed help, otherwise he wouldn't be able to make it to that sweet 10 pounds of chocolate waiting for him, Chocolate Boy turned to Arnold. He pulled on his heartstrings and convinced Arnold to help him beat his addiction. Arnold had his work cut out for him. The episode showed Arnold taking all of the chocolate out of Chocolate Boy's room and then keeping an eye on him as he literally began to experience withdrawal. That's right, that's how hardcore this addiction was. Chocolate Boy went through withdrawal to the point where he began licking ants off the ground because his mind was telling him they tasted like chocolate. The kid was tweaking. Still, somehow, Arnold managed to help keep Chocolate Boy clean for 2 whole weeks, and by that point, he was feeling pretty proud of the kid. However, all of that pride was shattered when he learned that all of that hard work was just for a bet. Wolfgang congratulated Chocolate Boy and gave him 10 pounds of the product that he promised before walking away, leaving Arnold utterly disappointed. Chocolate Boy didn't care though, he got his fix. Can you imagine anything worse for this kid at this moment than chocolate? Well, the showrunners at Hey Arnold could, because they made fans watch as this young addicted kid was bullied. At least the bullying led him to finally being sick of his addiction. But that still doesn't make it right. You see, the episode made it clear that Chocolate Boy received and ate the entire 10 pounds of chocolate in a short period of time. Then, it just so happened that by that time he was finished with the bag, a group of 5th graders, including Wolfgang, came over to where Chocolate Boy was always hanging out. Needless to say, when Wolfgang noticed the entire 10-pound bag was gone, the group began to make fun of the kid. Chocolate Boy was upset, as anyone would be, but it wasn't the final straw yet. After making fun of Chocolate Boy, Wolfgang had an idea that would only be brilliant to a bully. he decided to offer the boy more chocolate if he did a silly dance. Of course, Chocolate Boy did it, but by the end, he was humiliated. They even showed him looking through the dumpster for more chocolate at one point, only to be laughed at even more. It was at this point that Chocolate Boy officially accepted that he had a problem, and he turned to Arnold for help one last time. At first, Arnold wasn't having any of it. He didn't want to waste his time again. But once he saw that Chocolate Boy was serious, he agreed to help him again. I really can't stress how good of a person Arnold was all throughout the show. Arnold and Chocolate Boy tried a few different techniques in hopes of helping him kick his addiction, but one after another, they all seemed to fail. They started out by showing Chocolate Boy a slideshow about all the negative effects of chocolate. However, that didn't help, as a tied-up Chocolate Boy claimed it only made him want sweets even more. The next thing that the boys thought to try was the good old sweat treatment. Arnold and Chocolate Boy went to an outdoor sauna and began to sweat, hoping to get all of the chocolate out of his system. Again, that's common for addicts or people trying to detox, trying to sweat all of the bad stuff out of their system. However, much like the slideshow, this did nothing for Chocolate Boy. At this point, Arnold probably felt like he was running out of options. After the sauna didn't work, the episode continued by showing Arnold and Chocolate Boy in the kitchen as they tried to search for substitutes that he might be able to eat. They started with something called carob, which is supposed to be a chocolate substitute. This didn't work either, because in this case, Chocolate Boy turned out to be allergic to carob. His body basically said, "Give me the real thing or give me nothing." The pair also tried to eat a few vegetables instead of chocolate, but the only ones that the kids seemed to enjoy were radishes. Apparently, they made him think of chocolate. At this point, it was getting hard to rewatch this episode, because this kid almost seemed like he was beyond help. But can you guess what Arnold resorted to that actually helped him crack the case? It turns out all the kids needed to do was to perform a little bit of hypnotherapy in order for the dark truth to come out. After failing to help Chocolate Boy time and time again, Arnold finally came up with the idea to bring him to his room and perform hypnosis. This is a bit of an unorthodox method, but many people in real life have suggested that hypnosis has unlocked something from their past that has helped them deal with their current trauma. Arnold had figured out that there was some sort of psychological connection to Chocolate Boy's love for chocolate, and it turned out that he was spot on. After being placed under hypnosis, Chocolate Boy revealed that when he was younger, his parents used to keep chocolate away from him. In fact, they never let him have any, which is what made his connection to his nanny so strong. According to the show, Chocolate Boy's nanny used to give him chocolate in secret despite what his parents said. However, his relationship with his nanny ended one day when she told him that she had to move away from the city. Before she left, she gave him one last bag of chocolate and told him that he should be good and happy. Chocolate Boy apparently ate that bag of chocolate very quickly, and in that moment, Arnold realized the reason for the young kid's addiction. He missed his nanny. After sharing a heartwarming moment, Arnold and Chocolate Boy worked together to kick his need for sweets, and they were able to replace the boy's addiction with something much healthier: radishes. Still weird though. All of the kids were surprised to see that Arnold was actually able to help him beat his addiction. In the end, Chocolate Boy really seemed to be in a better place. It's too bad that after that, every time he appeared in the show, he was seen eating chocolate, which shows that Arnold effectively did nothing despite all of the effort he put in. Still, how heartbreaking is the story behind Chocolate Boy? Do you think he would have ever been able to kick his addiction? Be sure to let me know in the comments below.